What is up, everyone? Marc here for another edition of Pandemic Pantry Extra, and today we're actually going to improvise something. So, whether you know it or not, a lot of times the recipes I've been doing on the full Pandemic Pantry episodes and the extras are, I've thought of them ahead of time and have kind of been putting them together. Here, we're improvising. So I just shot the other day a shepherd's pie recipe that's going to be coming up, I think, next Monday. But I've got another package of the meatloaf mix that I used for that. Used the meatloaf mix just because I thought it would have a better variety of flavor, you know, because it's got the beef, veal, and pork. But I've got an extra package of that. The sell-by was yesterday. Today is the 4th, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. So I want to use that up. So I think it would work well in sloppy joes. I've got some hamburger buns, so we're going to improvise some sloppy joes. Now, sloppy joes are easy enough to do from a can. You know, you brown up some beef, you throw the stuff in from the can. But if you don't have a can of sloppy joe sauce hanging around, then you can absolutely do this with stuff you've got in your pantry. I'm going to use an onion. If I had a bell pepper, I'd probably use a bell pepper or half a bell pepper in this too. I'm going to use a small onion. But, you know, you work with what you got. So let's do this. All right, so I've gone ahead and gotten a little bit of a head start here. Just, you know, you've seen me chop onions 1,000 times by now. So I've got one small onion going in the pan here with a little bit of oil, just chopped. Almost ready to add the beef. And then while that beef cooks, we're going to mix together our sauce. All super easy here. So I'm going to kind of improvise as I go. I don't know what I'm going to be putting in here yet. This is really just based on, you know, knowing what goes into standard sloppy joe sauce. So I've got about 3/4 of a cup of ketchup. I'm going to use a little bit of vinegar, a dash of Worcestershire, a dash of Tabasco, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of molasses, some chili powder, some garlic powder, salt and pepper, of course. But I think we should be just about ready to put in our beef or meatloaf mix. Okay, so while the beef cooks, we're going to start building our sauce. And one thing, you know, you don't really ever have to worry about, you know, people get scared of the timing, you know, like the beef's cooking and they're doing something else. If whatever you've got on the stove is cooking too fast or you need to slow it down, just pull it off the heat. Just don't worry about it. Pull it off the heat and you will be fine. You can always start something cooking again, but you can't uncook it once it's gone too far. Alright, so we're going to let that go there. And let's figure out what to do with the sauce. So, like I said, I've got 3/4 of a cup of ketchup here. I use my 4-cup measure because I'm just going to measure everything into this and mix it. And then that makes it easy to pour into the pan with the meat after. Again, really just improvising here. So I know I'm going to do a dash of hot sauce or two. I'm going to do dash of Worcestershire. Oops, a little bit more than a dash. I'm going to say about a tablespoon of cider vinegar. Oh, almost forgot. A little salt and pepper on the meat. You don't have to salt things a lot to bring out flavor. Alright, I'm figuring about a teaspoon, I think, of Dijon mustard. I'm just going to guesstimate this. About a tablespoon of molasses, and again, this is another one I'm going to estimate because it's just a mess and it's a pain. That's about a tablespoon. I'm going to do a teaspoon of chili powder. And a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'd probably put a clove or two of garlic in here if I had it, but I don't have fresh garlic, so we're using garlic powder. I know I've got the minced stuff too, but I mean, I don't know. We'll work with this. Presuming we don't have a lot of other things that we could have, you know? So, you know, sometimes a slow cooker meal is great for a weeknight, and other times you just don't have the forethought. But as long as you've got ingredients, you've got something. Just want to make sure we break this up. There is quite a bit of fat in here. I do want to drain some of this out. Okay, this is looking pretty good. We're going to add our sauce. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Turn this down to a simmer. So really we just want to heat the sauce through. There's not a lot of cooking to do to it. Alright, we're going to let that meld at a simmer. I always have problems with the toast. Toasting the rolls and the bread and what have you. So this time I'm going to just put them under the broiler. What, after all, is a toaster but a glorified broiler for bread? So let's try this. Keep a close eye on that while I clean some stuff up, and we should be ready to eat any time now. All right, I think we're ready to try these out. I'll go with a small, less toasted. Make a little indentation. Good ketchup-based barbecue. Got a little bit of that sweetness from the molasses. It's really good. All right, guys, so I'm going to try to remember what I improvised here. Put the recipe down in the description. But that's really it for this one. I hope you like the video. I hope you like the recipe. I hope you enjoy it. I know I'm going to tonight. I needed a satisfying dinner last minute. And subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.